life practice community.
Hey everyone. Yeah, just staying in your child's pose to begin. And if you need to do any kind of shifting here, it might feel good to open your knees a little bit wider. Maybe stretch your fingers forward just to create a little bit of traction. So as you kind of dig your finger pads into the floor, feeling your hips pulling back, creating some space through your spine, maybe getting into the shoulder blades slightly. And just kind of resuming those deep, kind of mindful breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling out through your nose. Good. And just kind of settling in. And after the practice that you've just done, just maybe paying attention to how that has manifested in your body. You know, the echo of those movements. Where you're feeling it, the nature of those sensations, and just continue to breathe into them, trying to find your center to your best ability. After your last exhalation, take an in-breath and just lift your head, feel your armpits peeling up off the ground. And then take the right arm and just thread it underneath the left and kind of walk the right fingertips as far to the left as you can. Begin to drop the right shoulder, the right side of the head to the floor, and then continue that length through the left side body. So continue to really stretch the left fingers forward and feel the left hip pull back. As you just relax the weight of your body down towards the ground. Again, paying attention to how your breathing feels here. Good. Take another in-breath. And as you exhale, begin to unravel, stretching the right arm forward. Take the left arm now, just kind of walk the left fingertips over to the right side, settling the weight of the left shoulder, the weight of the head down to the ground. Maintaining that space all through the right side body. Nice big breaths here. Good. Take that last in breath. And once again, as you exhale, begin to unravel, stretching the left arm forward. And then slowly rise all the way up onto your hands and your knees, taking your shoulders to stack over your wrists, taking your hips to stack over your knees. Find a few cows and cats here. So inhale, drop the belly down, pulling the chest through, lifting the gaze, lifting the tailbone. As you exhale, round into your back, push the floor away as you draw your shoulder blades up to the ground, or up to the ceiling, sorry. Draw your navel in, feel the tailbone get heavy. Inhale, drop the belly, open through the heart. And again, exhale to round into the back. Tucking the chin in slightly. Do this just a few more times, moving with your own breath. My dog literally just did a downward facing dog before settling onto the ground. Good. So take that last exhalation here. Return to a flat back. And then just take your right leg behind you. Tuck the toes under so they make contact with the floor. And think about pushing the right heel away from you. Press the palms into the ground. Keep the heart lifted, the gaze forward. So we're just kind of working on getting into that right calf. Maybe into the right hamstring a bit. And then inhale, the right leg is going to lift up. You're going to cross it over to the left, keeping the toes tucked under. So you're just sway your hips over to the right slightly, look over that left shoulder. See if you can check out your foot. Take a moment, just kind of exaggerating kind of that lean to the right. So you're getting into the sideways, maybe into the intercostal, so those little spaces between your ribs. And then as you inhale, look forward. Exhale, take that right knee back to its rightful place. Extend the left leg now, toes tuck under. Push the heel away from you, press down into the palms. Chest lifts, gaze lifts forward. Again, we're just focusing on getting that space into our calf, into our hamstring a bit. Good. Keep the face relaxed, the jaw unclenched. Keep the shoulders softened from the ears. Try not to create any tension in the body. Just stay nice and open here. Pick up that left leg, cross it over to the right. Toes stay tucked under. Again, you're going to kind of sway the hips and the ribs over to the left as you look over that right shoulder, checking out that back foot. And just find those kind of like really tiny adjustments in the body to make this feel better for you, to really get into those spaces where maybe you hold on to a bit more tension. Always kind of exploring and being really curious with this movement, even if it's super subtle and visible to the eye. So take an in-breath, look forward, exhale, take the left knee to its rightful place. We're going to tuck our toes under. Just take a few breaths in downward facing dog here. Move around a bit, held the legs out. I know you did a lot of these before, so just take it easy. It's kind of using this as kind of a neutral shape between postures. Spread the fingers, plug the palms down to the ground. If you feel like you're bringing way too much weight forward into your hands, bend your knees a bit to just shift your hips back, just to take that weight out of the arms. Good. After your last exhalation, look forward. Gently begin to step your feet all the way to the very top of your sticky mat. You're going to keep your feet about hip distance. If you're feeling really tight today, open the feet a bit wider and just let the upper body dangle. If it feels okay, bring your hands into soft fists and take those fists to opposite elbow creases. So you create a little shelf. Keep the knees soft. Give your head a little shake. Yes, no, no, yes. Maybe even let the upper body sway from side to side a few more times just to see if you can maybe create a little bit more space. Make sure you're pressing down into all four edges of both feet equally. And just try to really relax here. Let the eyeballs get soft, soften the jaw. Relax into your belly. Really focus on that connection between the soles of your feet and the ground. We'll take one more in breath. As you exhale, just let the arms just kind of fall to the floor. As you push your feet into the ground, take your time, rolling up to stand, stacking the spine as you go. Your chin's gonna pop up last. Scoop the shoulders up towards your ears. And just drop them down towards the ground. Finding a nice little mountain pose here as you step toward the top portion of your mat. Press down into the legs, lift up into the heart. Keep the shoulders soft. Just keep the crown of the head extending upwards. Find a few really nice, deep, solid breaths here. If Ujjayi breath is something that you practice, that ocean-like noise or that Darth Vader type noise, you're very welcome to bring that into your practice here. When you're ready, take a big in-breath, float the arms to overhead. As you exhale, pull your hands through your midline as you fold forward, reaching your fingertips towards the floor, tucking the chin to peek between your knees. Take an in-breath, lift the chest forward, nice long spine. Soften into the knees as you place your fingertips onto the floor, step the left toes back, lunge into that right knee. Take a moment here, just finding just a nice active lunge here. So the right shin is pushing forward, the left heel is pressing back. Try not to collapse into your hips. So you're staying up on fingertips or blocks if you have them, just to really keep that sense of lightness and buoyancy in the upper body. Okay, just take a few more breaths. Again, noticing if there's any little subtle shifts you can create in your hips just to create a bit more space. Maybe that left side, so as that hip flexor is feeling a bit tight today. So just take one more in breath. As you exhale, slowly lower the left knee down to the ground. Continue to kind of press the hips and the chest forward. Keep the heart lifted. Keep the shoulders drawn away from the ears. Good. We'll take one more in-breath here. As you exhale, take your right hand to the inside of the right foot. And you're just going to kind of spin that left heel. So it's going to come over to the right. So you're kind of sitting down with your left kind of sit bone on that left heel. Good. From here, reach the right hand to the right and then extend the left arm up. So it's kind of like you're in like a half malasana here. Good. So pressing the back of the right arm to the inner thigh, reaching through that left arm. You might even take a bind. So if it's feeling okay for you today, you're gonna take that left arm behind you. You're gonna turn the right thumb down and then wrap that right hand around the right shin. Maybe find the fingers and just continue to spin the chest up. Continue to extend the crown of the head away from your body. Good. Nice breaths here. Good. With your next out breath, just looking forward. Release the bind if you have that bind. Bring your hands down if they're extended. And then just spin that left leg back. Take the right hand to frame the outside of the right foot. Pick up your back knee. Good. You're going to step back into a downward facing dog here. Just take one in breath, one out breath. Good. Look forward. Roll your way forward into a high plank inhale. As you exhale from your toes and your knees, keep your elbows in as you lower. And then inhale, take cobra or come up into upward facing dog if that's your preference. This is yogi's choice here. As you exhale, push the floor away from you, arriving back in that downward facing dog. Just take one in breath and then one out breath. Look forward, please. Step that left foot all the way up between the hands. Pop up onto fingertips or blocks once again. Send the left shin forward. Send the right heel back. Shoulders back, chest forward, gaze forward. And as you remain here, as it might look static from the outside, you're constantly kind of exploring and just kind of moving your legs around really, really subtly just to see if you can create just some new space in the body. Think of that active line all through the front of the body. Try to resist the temptation to look down or look back at that right foot. It's there, it's not going anywhere. We'll take one more in-breath, please. As you exhale, softly lower that right knee down to the floor. Continue to kind of press the hips forward to extend the chest forward. Stay with your breathing. And then we're going to take that other side. So you're going to take the left fingertips to the inside of the left foot. You're going to spin that right heel over. So you're kind of sitting down on that right heel with the right sit bone. Left arm comes out to the left. Right arm reaches up. Get super long through your wingspan here, opening the chest. And again, if you'd like to, right arm can come behind you. You're going to turn the left thumb down. Wrap that left arm behind you, find the fingers, and continue just to spin the chest up towards the ceiling, keeping the shoulders released away from the ears. If you are like really struggling to get this bind, honestly, not worth it. Just stay with that big, big open arm span. Good. We'll take one more in-breath here. As you exhale, looking down, releasing your fingers back to the floor, spinning that right heel back, framing the left foot with the hands, pick up the back knee, step back, downward facing dog. This time, just take a couple in and out breaths through your nose. If you're feeling like your breath is kind of getting a little off, it's not quite as rhythmic as it was before, perhaps a nice big exhalation through an open mouth can be helpful just to kind of reset the breath. Take that last exhalation, look forward, and step your feet all the way to the top of your mat. Take an in breath, lift halfway up, extend the heart forward. As you exhale, fold back in, Uttanasana. Rooting through your legs, inhale, the arms come all the way up. As you exhale, your hands come together in front of your heart center, Samasthiti. Good, inhale, arms rise back up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from your hips. Inhale, lift halfway up. This time, just soften into the knees, fingertips to the floor, step the left toes back once again. Find that lunge in the right knee, spin the left heel to flat. Come all the way up into warrior two. Pressing into the right heel, soften the toes. Get nice and long through the spine. Keep gazing down the right fingers. Good, take an in-breath, get tall, reach forward. Place that right forearm on top of the right thigh. Try not to slouch into it though, so you're kind of pressing it away actively. And then take that left hand behind you. You're gonna press the back of the left hand into kind of like the right side flank, or you might be able to find the right hip crease or thigh. Roll that left shoulder back, look up. Start to push down a bit more into the left foot as you extend the crown of the head in the opposite direction. Now, for those of you that feel like you want to go a little bit deeper, looking down, bring the right fingertips down to the floor. Continue to spin the chest up, and then maybe take that right arm underneath the right leg. Maybe find the left fingers. Same thing, you're going to find that bind, leaning the upper body back into that right thigh, rolling the left shoulder back, looking up. And if this doesn't work for you, be okay with staying here. That's completely fine. Good, let's take one more in breath. As you exhale, release. Maybe the right fingertips touch the ground, left arm comes up, and then come all the way up into warrior two. Right palm up, inhale, reverse your warrior. As you exhale, just cartwheel your hands down towards the floor. Stepping back here to a high plank, inhale. As you exhale from your toes to your knees, lower, keep the elbows in. Inhale, coming into upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. Take one in breath, take one out breath. Look forward, step that left foot all the way up to the top of the mat. Spin the right heel to flat, come up into your warrior two. Same thing, kind of charging into the heels, soften the toes. Nice steady gaze down the left fingers. And then inhale, get tall, reach forward, placing that left forearm on top of the right thigh. Right arm's gonna come behind you, pressing into that left side flank, maybe finding the left hip crease or the top of the thigh. Right shoulder spins back. Hold this for a few breaths, really charging down into that back leg. And then for those of you that would maybe like to go a little bit deeper, left fingertips come down. Maybe bring that left arm underneath, finding the right hand. And same thing, you want to make sure your thumb's not sticking out to the left, so you kind of want to pull that left hip back toward the right heel as you continue to spin the chest up towards the ceiling. Maybe look up. Good, strong legs, trying to collapse through your hips. Notice if there's any clenching, any resistance going on in your body, let it go. Good, and then just looking down for a moment, maybe the left fingertips come to the floor for a sec, right arm comes up, and then pressing up into your warrior two. Left palm floats up, inhale to reverse. And then as you exhale, take your hands all the way back to the top of your mat, stepping back into a high plank, inhale. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, open through the heart. And exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Good, take a few breaths here. Good. After your last exhalation, look forward, step or hop your feet to the top of your mat. Take an in breath, half rise. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, come all the way up, arms extend towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands come together in front of your heart center, Samasthiti. Inhale, arms rise up again. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips. Inhale, lift halfway. Stepping back into downward facing dog here. We'll take one in breath. As you exhale, pop to your toes and then just lower your knees all the way to the floor. Sitting down on your heels for just a moment. Taking your hands behind you. So you're either going to come up onto fingertips if you can. Bring the entire palm flat onto the floor, but make sure the fingers are indeed pointing towards your body. Push down into the ground. So just squeeze the shoulder blades gently together. Start to puff the chest up. Look up towards the ceiling. Hold this here. Just think about really actively getting into the front of the chest and the shoulders. Press out a bit more into the inner hands if you can. And then maybe start to peel your seat up off your heels. Good. Sending your hips to the sky. And you're pressing into that place between your thumb and your forefinger. Good, we'll take one more in breath here. Exhale, tuck your chin in. Slowly lower your seat back towards your heels. Come all the way up onto your hands and your knees. Take your knees a little bit wider here. Walk the fingers forward. And just settling down into your child's pose, your Balasana. Feeling the hips releasing down towards the heels. Start to melt the chest down towards the floor. Nice, solid in and out breath through the nose.